morning, and welcome to another episode of Hard Factor. It is Friday, November 15th. You know what that means. Today is a long, delicious news buffet of Florida man headlines. Wes, get us going.
All right, guys. Madonna better watch out.
Wait.
Because Miami native Nate Hollander is coming for her and Live Nation's asses. You see back in August, Nate got a hair or something up his ass and purchased 3 Madonna tickets valued at over $1,000.
Whoa.
And he and his friends...
How can she charge that price?
She still commands that price?
Face value?
This is Miami.
Okay, so add $100. Face value?
Yeah, he bought it on, like, Ticketmaster or some shit.
What an idiot.
$350 a ticket. That's crazy.
What's that? Yeah.
$350 a ticket or something.
It's not 1987.
Well, Madonna's not just a concert, it's an experience.
Exactly.
It's true.
Exactly.
It used to be, like when she had all the naked women climbing and she was dancing and stuff on those HBO specials. Back then, sure, but what is she doing now?
Same thing, just
Okay.
with an older body.
Gotcha.
Well, anyway, the tickets were valued over $1,000, and he and his friends were more excited than 3 gay guys about to go to a Madonna concert in Miami Beach. It was a bucket list shit. But excitement quickly turned to disappointment when Nate got an email in October informing him that the start time of the concert had been changed from a reasonable 8:30 p.m. to a very, very late 10:30 p.m.
Starting at 10:30?
Starting at 10:30.
Oh, so it's interesting. When I saw this headline, I thought maybe she was late, but they preemptively sent an email.
Yeah, they sent an email in October.
All right.
Madonna stays up late.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, wouldn't you want, like, the later the better at a Madonna concert?
No shit, and I say that later.
Also, what the fuck is going on in your life that you know you're going to be 2 hours late in 3 weeks? Like what?
Well,
it's a Tuesday.
But I mean, what concert starts at 8:30?
Tuesday.
Doesn't she probably have an opening act? I mean, she's not going to go on
Most
until 10.
concerts start at 10:30.
So this guy's going to
But
spend...
she's still not going on until 10.
This guy is going to spend $350 a ticket and then not stay out late and take the next day off
If you're
work.
going to a fucking Madonna concert, that's all you're doing the entire day.
For the month, really.
Prepping for Madonna, staying up for late for Madonna, partying after Madonna.
Sleeping in the next day.
All the coke, everything. So, he was very disappointed. So he is suing Madonna.
Nice.
Claiming that the change of time is a breach of contract between himself and the artist, and that no attempt to give a refund was made. And I'm not sure if this guy is the biggest little bitch in the world or if he thinks he's somehow going to get offered like backstage tickets and all this. Who knows? Let me tell you, I would absolutely go to a Madonna concert, like a Prayer, Vogue, give me a fucking break. But I would not pay over $300, and I certainly would not want to go to 8:30. Madonna for me is a midnight hour experience for me.
Oh, in the midnight hour.
That's right.
I
You
can
got
feel
it.
your power.
You got it. Yeah. So in fact, Madonna concerts should never start before midnight ever. So fuck this guy. I hope they refund his money and ban him for life because that'd be terrible for him.
Yeah, I would go to a Madonna concert.
Hell yeah,
It's an embarrassing story for that guy.
it is.
Does this you know how expensive it is to fucking file a lawsuit? It's so expensive.
No, this guy.
This guy's dropping $1,000 on
Well,
Madonna.
let it
tickets.
go, bro.
How is a ticket you buy a contract between you and the performer? Like, is a ticket to a football game a contract between the fan and the entire both teams? I mean, that's crazy.
If it was Baker Mayfield, he's having a good game tonight, but he would have been sued by the whole city of Cleveland by now.
Right.
Performance this
Yeah,
season.
for the first 9 games, yeah.
All right. Have you guys ever been on an all-time bender? Or specifically one night where you were super intoxicated and high and just on an absolute unstoppable warpath and can't be tamed, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Will has.
Yeah, Will's a big can't be tamed kind of wild party animal, right? Am I right?
It's true. I've had a
There's
couple.
a certain mood he gets that you don't want to look him in the eye.
At least
Right.
he doesn't. At least he's not punching us anymore.
Well,
Yeah.
Will has nothing on Tommy Redding of Hardee's County, Wauchula, Florida. And this is my story for most Florida guys.
Okay, I think I have the
right.
most Florida
Okay.
story, but let's hear
You
it.
see, officers started to pick up that Tommy was on one when they saw him driving erratically in a Jeep. And a quick check showed that the Jeep was stolen.
Okay.
Stolen by Tommy. Tommy refused to stop for police as they tried to pull him over, and then he ended up crashing on a curve on Altman Road. It's kind of hard to see curves sometimes when you're on one. When he crashed, Tommy allegedly fled from the scene. As the crash was right next to Hardee High School, authorities put the school on lockdown while they searched for him. Tommy wasn't in the high school, though, as a woman came running to the police saying, "I think he's hiding in my barn." Tommy was in the barn, like every smart criminal from the Midwest in the 1960s. He was hiding in the barn. When the cops got to the barn, Tommy kicked open the door to reveal himself completely naked and bloody. He also seemed to be under the influence of some unknown substance. I'm going to go ahead and fix that by adding an S. Unknown substances. Substances. Tommy was able to slip out of the deputy's grasp as he was naked and bloody, and he ran down the driveway of the barn house. Tommy then grabbed a metal box cover of an automated gate opener, I should say, and used that gate opener metal thing to swing it around to create, like a maniac, to create some space between him and all the officers that are surrounding him.
That's really...
like in a circle.
Well,
yeah.
It's resourceful.
I know what those look like. He was able to rip that thing off.
Yeah, so then he started pulling
Jesus.
the electrical wires out, trying to, like, like, I don't know what.
This guy's a strategist.
At this point, a new deputy arrived in the driveway for backup, and he got out of the car and fired a taser at Tommy, who brushed it off like he was hit with a spitball, bulldozed through that deputy, and stole his police cruiser. He then started driving in reverse all the way down the road until he was eventually barricaded, driving in reverse by 2 additional patrol units.
That's badass.
Yeah, Tommy, with one last effort at this point of the story, you guys know that barricade's not going to stop this fucking guy. So
Not even God.
A grenade launcher or something?
Yeah. So he didn't get stopped by the barricade. He decided to ram his cruiser into the one parked directly in front of him as fast as he could. The deputy was inside of that cruiser, and both airbags deployed, and both people kind of like got knocked out. So deputies then say they were finally able to get Tommy out of the sheriff officer's car that he stole, but he allegedly kept resisting arrest, of course, bloody and naked, leading them to deploy several more tasers into Tommy. Those final tasers would be the end of Tommy as he died on the scene.
Okay.
Oh, man.
Very Florida story. Very Florida story. I think I'm not scared.
Did you see the twist at the end? He died.
Yeah. No, I'm not scared.
Did this guy come
You
from
don't?
like...
You think you could beat that?
I think I might be able to beat that.
He must have come from like a government like testing agency where they're just making
PCP,
superhumans.
right?
Yeah.
Or something.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, something crazy.
Yeah.
He
The
escaped.
state of Florida.
Wow.
I don't know.
Bath
I mean,
salts, yeah.
R.I.P. Tommy. That was like, I mean,
That's a blaze of glory.
right?
Yeah.
That's a blaze of glory. Like you got to say R.I.P. He's probably he was youngish. He obviously was stealing cars. Not a great guy. It's sad that he died, but he went out probably like he should have. You know?
We
Everyone thought he would.
covered meth gators before. He's like a human meth gator.
Yeah.
And so,
Thomas.
all right.
All right.
Now before
All
I
right,
get
that's
in,
one.
Are you
Are we
up?
gonna do? Are we
Yeah,
gonna-
let's do Predict It. Let's talk about Predict It real quick.
Oh,
All right.
okay.
When I say go to www.predictit.org/promo/hardfactor20, you already know what the fuck is up. We're about to talk about gambling on the news, and if you go to the URL and create an account, Predict It will give you a free $20 to gamble with it if you deposit at least $20 yourself. Predict It was on the front page of the Drudge Report today. They have something like over 100,000 active gamblers and growing. We love Predict It. And what do we love today, Pat?
Well, the pick I like today a lot, guys, is which party will win the Minnesota popular vote in the 2020 presidential election. Here's why I like it. The Democratic challenger is at 69 cents right now, with the Republican at 32.
To win the 2020 election.
Right. So it's not like a
And it's-
huge amount of cash that you can win, but you could still get in there and make some cash.
What state was that again?
Minnesota. So Minnesota's gone Democrat every year since 1976, every election.
Forever.
So it's going to go Democrat,
Yeah.
100%.
So what happens when you bet 69 cents a share and you ride the market out is you profit 30 cents a share.
Exactly.
So every share you buy, 30 cents a share.
Didn't Trump almost win Minnesota last time?
Not almost, not nearly as
Michigan.
close. Not nearly as close as
Michigan,
Michigan.
he won by.
He won,
It
but
was
I
close,
think
but
Minnesota was
He
close.
won by a little bit.
Minnesota was relatively close, but it's going to go Dem. You heard it here first.
That's our bet. Go to www.predictit.org/promo/hardfactor20 and check out the couple hundred markets yourself and get going.
Yes, do it. And before I get into this next one, I just wanted to quickly say that our thoughts and prayers are with the families impacted by the high school shooting in Santa Clarita, California on Thursday. So got to get that stuff sorted out. It's a bad situation. But I wanted to say that because this next one is sort of, we're going to take a lighter approach on gun talk because we're talking about sanctuary cities.
Okay.
But not what you think. The Lake County Commission in Central Florida made it official with a vote of 4-0 to make Lake County a sanctuary city or a sanctuary county for gun owners' rights. So not for immigrants, but this is a place now where you can own guns and never be worried that anybody will ever take them from you.
So I think that's the Constitution that you're talking about.
Correct. That's the Second Amendment that already pretty much guarantees
But they're
that.
adding a layer to it.
Yeah, it's a double Second
It's-
Amendment.
It's like just in case.
Yes.
Yeah.
In fact, the extra layer is actually a countermeasure to Beto O'Rourke's proposed mandatory buyback. And a reminder, Beto is out of the presidential race, but these
Right.
guys, they still
What-
just
Well, they were working on it, Will,
what
and then they'd done all that work, and then Beto dropped out. What are they going to not finish it?
Really, the whole reason they came up with this is so that the city itself could troll and meme troll Beto.
basically.
So fucking dumb.
Yeah.
This is so goddamn dumb. This is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. You have a sanctuary city for gun owners' rights. It's the
I
fucking
thought
Second
Florida
Amendment.
was a sanctuary state.
Yeah,
It's
no
yeah.
shit.
You can do
the
whatever
whole
you want down
country
there.
is. You're allowed to
Well, I
have
know,
guns
obviously.
everywhere.
What are they doing down there, Willie?
Anyways, like you said, it doesn't make much sense, but Commissioner Josh Blake doesn't give a fuck about that. He was quoted saying that the resolution draws a line in the sand. Quote, "It doesn't mince words, and I hope it sends a message to what can best be described as the authoritarian control freaks who see it as their job to forcibly disarm their fellow citizens." So,
when has someone ever coming to you and taken your gun away, bud?
It sounds like a county that's, overly like concerned about this gun control and doesn't know anything about computers or the environment.
Right.
The real issues that could fuck them in the ass.
What do you do?
Like, the technology, the robots that are about to get them.
Yeah, what do you do when the world fucking ends and no one's ever come for your gun?
You can't shoot artificial intelligence.
Probably not a lot of resources.
the AI,
You can try.
the AI robots are going to steer clear of Lake County. Trust me. So it's good
They
news
don't
for
need to go there.
Right. It's good news for anybody who's fiercely afraid that mandatory buyback is just going to storm to your door any day, so you can take your guns and ammo and live safe and happy in Lake County, Florida.
Nah, everyone's gonna kill each other when the apocalypse hits in Lake County. I guarantee it. They're all dead.
It's like a powder keg, right? If you're going to have that many like gun owners and ammo in the same
Paranoid
county.
gun owners, yeah.
Paranoid gun owners
Everyone's dead.
is the definition of a powder keg.
This could be creating a bad situation. And if you are in Lake County or anywhere else and enjoy a little shooting, nothing sets off that look like a full and rich mustache on your face. You just look better. Not only will you look sweet, but you'll be helping to promote men's health because Barstool is proud to be working with Movember in November to raise funds and awareness for men's health. Movember is the leading charity dedicated to changing the face of men's health around the world. This Movember, whatever mustache you grow will save a bro. Your support will change the face of men's health, raising awareness and funds for prostate cancer, testicular cancer, mental health, and suicide prevention. This year, Barstool's own Donnie Does is growing out his mo to save a bro, as well as other people like myself and there's several others at HQ. Join him and us on the Barstool Movember team and help us change the face of men's health. For every $50 that you fundraise on your team, you'll get an entry to win a trip for two to join us at the Army versus Navy college football show in December for Barstool. So head to Movember.com/Barstool to join our team, grow your mo, and fundraise for your chance to win the grand prize.
Nice.
Love that shit. All right, guys, this next one's really pretty personal for me. And I'll get into why exactly. So a Florida man was approached by police last Tuesday in a suburb of St. Petersburg, Florida, and the sheriff's deputy...
Probably a Hard Factor fan. Based
on
how many sticker requests came out of St. Pete.
Got a lot of
What's up, St. Pete?
Love St. Pete. Beautiful beaches.
What's up, Tampa?
My next story's from there.
What's up, Tampa?
Anyway,
we got a lot of Tampa stories.
We do.
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, there's a round of stickers going out like this week, I think.
Yeah, we've been late. Sorry.
It's been a lot. We got a lot of work. Anyway, sheriff's deputy asked the man to leave this park that he was in because it was after dark and the park was closed after dark.
Sure.
And he was preparing to issue the man a trespassing warning when the officer asked the man his name. And the man said that his name was Ben Dover.
No way.
No
way.
Right? Yeah. Then he gave the cop the finger.
He said, "What'd you say to me?"
He said it was Ben Dover. I thought he was being clever. He then gave the cop the finger and fled on foot. And after a very short foot chase, he was apprehended. So the 22
Bend over doesn't sound like he's fast.
Right. No, he's not. Yeah. Sounds like he might have a little impediment, if you know what I mean.
Amanda hug and kiss.
Right. So the 22-year-old who was subsequently charged with obstruction of justice for giving a fake name is actually named Andrew Layton, not Ben Dover. Yeah. And the reason this hits so close to home for me is because when I was a kid and all the Hard Factor boys were youths, I
thought made a mistake.
I thought I'd tell him a real cool story.
You made a mistake.
Because there's a cousin, there's a Cassidy family cousin that was a really famous acrobat in the early part of the 20th century.
What was his nickname?
Well, his professional name was Ben Dover.
Ben Dover Cassidy?
And I never heard the fucking end of it.
No.
I almost just broke my brand new computer by laughing all over it.
Fuck you guys, because
not your uncle who came up with the name Ben Dover. It's our fault.
He was an acrobat.
He was an acrobat. He was an acrobat. It's our fault for being 11 and hilarious.
It was a different time. And fuck you guys, because he's my grandfather's first cousin, he survived the Hindenburg disaster.
Yeah, he was very flexible.
By jumping out of the fucking Hindenburg and was later investigated as a suspect for potentially blowing it up.
True?
Oh. That's 100% true. So fuck you guys.
So he's a war criminal.
No one can survive that. He's
got a weird
I
name.
can lift my legs over my head.
Don't come to the guys with something you're proud of. That's for sure.
All right, guys. Sometimes when you're in Florida and your cousin, who you share a house with, and who was really pissing you off, you got to pick up whatever's next to you and hurl it at their face.
Yeah.
It's just a natural Florida reaction.
Absolutely.
Most times that thing is a beer bottle or ashtray or crumpled up court summons. But in the case of 27-year-old St. Petersburg resident Steph Johnson.
No, Stephanie.
Stephanie Johnson.
Men can be called
How's it
Stephanie.
spelled?
Stephone.
Steph
I think
one.
Steph one.
All right.
Stephanie.
Stephanie.
Yeah.
So he didn't have those things next to him. So what could he do? Unfortunately for Roscoe, a 1-year-old Chihuahua that was chilling in his cage at the time of the argument, Stephanie decided to pick up Roscoe, cage and all, and hurl the tiny dog-like creature at his cousin.
Oh God.
This makes me nervous because I have a Florida wife and a lot of cats at the house.
Oh, I'm surprised you haven't had a cat thrown at you.
Yeah, she likes the cats. That's the only reason.
So what happened to this piece of shit?
So and you can add this the charge of battery to Stephanie's long list of Florida street cred, such as theft, fleeing and eluding police, and trespassing. The report doesn't mention if the fragile dog was okay after being hurled across the front lawn. I assume the front lawn. But let's assume that he is doing just fine. Even better now with the knowledge that Stephanie is not allowed to return to the house and is awaiting trial. So
What a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Pick a dog up, throw
Throws
it.
the
That's fucked
Chihuahua
up.
in a crate.
Locking the
I mean,
kid.
the Chihuahua can't land gracefully. It's going to hit the metal grate.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
that's,
he could have thrown a 40-ounce
didn't
bottle.
give the Chihuahua a chance.
Could have
there.
done anything.
the dog probably died. That's why they left it at the store.
All right, let's move on. Let's
oh
move
my
on.
God. What's the best excuse you guys would be able to give an officer who pulled you over for speeding if you're alone in the car?
Shat your pants.
Shot your pants.
I'm on my way to
speeding
tape
away?
my podcast for Barstool Sports.
Okay, that's pretty good. Like,
Yeah.
well,
Late for my wedding.
don't drop Barstool Sports in front of a cop. That's like get in trouble with that.
No, I'm kidding.
I know. What about my wife's having a baby?
Yeah, there you
Right.
go.
Yeah.
I gotta get to the hospital.
Yeah.
Something like that. Anyways, 52-year-old John Earl Picard was driving over 90 miles per hour in a 55 mile per hour zone on U.S. Route 19 in Tarpon Springs, Florida, or Tarpon Spring, Florida, I should say, when he was pulled over by cops around 7:30 p.m. Sunday. When the officer pulled him over, Picard explained his reckless driving was out of necessity because he had just been cheating on his wife and needed to get home quick, presumably to not make it look like he'd been out too long or to beat her home if she was like working or something.
He really took a big swing there, and he was looking for an ally.
Right.
He was looking for an ally. He was hoping.
I was just cheating on my wife. I got to get home.
You know how it is, officer.
I got to
Yeah.
get home.
Well,
That's definitely
honestly,
followed up by you know how it is.
yeah, cops though. He was swinging at a high percentage there because cops.
Oh, come on.
What are you saying,
We
Will?
got a lot of cop listeners. They're good people.
Well, I'm just saying it's a profession
Family
where you
people.
meet a lot of lovely young ladies when you're
Sure.
not with your spouse, and I think in that profession sometimes happen.
Digging
You carry a
digging it
gun,
deeper,
you
digging
got
it
a
deeper.
hot
After
bod.
charging him with reckless driving, the cops said they found a bag of crack in his shirt pocket. So it was a combo, the cheating and being high on crack.
Right.
It's a double. Picard was also charged last March for allegedly shoving and scratching his wife during a fight. The case was later dropped at his wife's request. I don't think she'll give him that courtesy anymore.
Yeah, why?
I bet she takes him back.
Why are you speeding? Well, man, when you smoke crack, everything really speeds
My
up.
wife gets home at 3 p.m.
You know what I mean? And I gotta clean my dick.
Yeah,
Oh,
sniff
man.
test. Oof.
All right, let's move it on. Here's a bit of a dark one, unfortunately. Michael, I can't even say his last name. Michael P. And I'm just going to call him the perp for the
Pizlakis.
rest of. You can say that. What was it?
Yeah.
What was it?
Plakis.
No,
No.
it's Salakis.
Nah.
The P is
Nah.
silent. It's Salakis.
No
P
one,
is
no one
silent?
would get it right. We could try for a half hour.
Okay.
Michael P. Jr.
He's Michael P. Jr. He's 21 of the greater Tampa area, and he's been charged with the murder of an acquaintance he used to play cards with. So, according to the police, Michael P. was regularly playing cards with at least two people, the victim, the guy who was murdered, and a witness. The victim allegedly took Michael P.
Well,
for...
I'm glad he was playing cards with more than one person, unless it was war.
Right. Otherwise, it'd
Well,
be
right. Well, no, what I'm...
Bad card game.
We always show up for a game of war.
Well, it's a murder trial, so not all of the individuals, you
got
know what
it.
I mean? You only have limited information at this point.
Right.
So at least the victim and the witness. So the victim allegedly took Michael P. for $1,000 on October 30th or earlier, I guess. And then Michael P. was pissed, so he asked the guy to play again the next night when the victim took him for another $2,500.
No.
And that's like $20,000 in Florida dollars. Like that's a lot.
$3,500. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's a lot of money.
lot. Well, it's a lot of money for anybody, and especially a 21-year-old.
Yeah, 2,500. Jesus.
Yeah,
30,
and
35.
35
yeah.
total over 2 nights. Yeah, so this obviously didn't sit well with Michael P. So he started texting the witness that he was seriously considering killing the victim.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
So that's his first mistake.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, the mother of the victim reported him missing on October 30th. So the
see-
card game must have happened earlier.
See, Will,
so.
this is where Michael P. messed up.
So he
He was seriously
so
considering
he was,
it.
he went through with it.
Shouldn't he was also swinging really high there.
Oh,
Hoping
yeah.
that the witness would be like, you should.
So
I won't
also-
tell anybody.
Also, no wonder why the guy's bad at poker. He gives his tells even to the witnesses.
Yeah, he's an idiot.
The guy can't keep a fucking secret or a straight face.
Not
Seriously
only
considered betting these eights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The guy
Not
never
only-
bluffs.
Not only an idiot, but also a psycho. We'll get into it. The victim was discovered burnt beyond recognition in his car by police on November 1st. The cops interviewed Michael P. at his home with his mother and noticed potential burn marks on his legs at the time. But after the interview, I guess Michael P. got spooked and he took off because the next interaction with the police was when they tapped his mom's phone at her request when he was calling her. And during the call, he asked his mom to corroborate his story about how he got burns on his legs, which was different than what he told the cops. He then showed back up at his mom's house with the cops waiting in a stolen car.
Oh, my God.
Only to be arrested for
In
murder.
a stolen car. You could have been in the Florida Man competition here.
Yeah. I could have entered that. Yeah.
This guy's never watched an episode of Dateline in his fucking
Well, I
life.
like how the cops the burn marks in the legs weren't enough. It's not
Yeah,
enough.
he let him go
well,
after
hold on,
that.
but
a lot of people have burn marks.
Well,
Yeah,
10 bonfires in there.
a lot of people have singed legs.
No,
Burn trash a lot down
in
there.
Florida, no one wears pants.
A lot of people that texted they were going to kill this guy have burn marks.
And everyone has a motorcycle.
Right,
So,
yeah. Could've been a muffler
Yeah.
burn.
Burned him
All
on my
Yeah,
muffler.
yeah, a little. And so turns out he at least shot the guy before he burned
Oh.
him alive, or burned him dead
nice of him.
probably, and maybe even tried to chop him up with a saw. So you got to be real careful who you play
Let's
cards
get
with.
that guy to jail forever.
Yes.
To jail forever.
It's amazing how the mind just switches over from just card player to hacking up a body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus.
3,500 ain't that much.
Well, the mom, when she decided to turn on him, what changed her mind was, first of all, he took off, and then she found blood all over the carpet in the house after.
Well, you do not do that to moms. Moms preserve carpets. That's part of their instinct as mothers.
I mean,
They make carpets last for years longer than they should.
I don't want to make assumptions, but Michael was going to come after his mother's bank account at any means possible.
100%.
Yeah.
That's true.
All right, guys. This last story, I think, is going to beat Mark's Florida Man story as
Yeah,
the
right.
most Florida story of all time. But let's see. Okay, let's see. This one's from earlier this month, but it's a good one, so it's okay. So Michael Kiefer is a 29-year-old clutch-popping epitome of all things that a Florida man embodies.
Okay.
Great start.
He parties hard with sick drugs. He owns and isn't afraid to use exotic weapons,
All right.
and he would rather die than listen to any kind of authority figure.
Are you doing the same story I just did?
Very similar. That's why I'm stoked.
Yeah, I got to hear the
Is
details
this
now.
the same story?
Kiefer had a hell of a Friday earlier this month that involved a number of visits from police. So this was in Indian River County, Florida. So apparently the first couple times cops showed up to his house, he was really high or drunk, but they just let him off with a warning. But you know what they say about the third time? It's a charm. Yes. The third time cops rolled up, Kiefer, he had a knife on him, and he was on the phone with someone threatening to cut them with the knife, him being where he was. The person.
You got a more exotic weapon than that, because that's
Well,
not.
hold on, Will.
Okay.
When he saw the cops, he ran away, but then he quickly reemerged wielding a hatchet. He dropped the knife, grabbed a hatchet.
Bigger knife.
There you go.
Upgrade.
Upgrade.
Yeah.
Before he disappeared again into his home. So what are you going to do? You got to call a SWAT team. So SWAT team rolls up, and they broke into Kiefer's house, and so Kiefer ran into the bedroom, took refuge, and that's when SWAT breached his bedroom, and they found Kiefer holding a big-ass sword, yelling, "Shoot me!" Yeah, and
He upgraded again?
he upgraded again.
I think they misreported hatchet.
He
'cause
upgraded again.
The common term that I've been reading since doing Florida Man is machete.
No.
This is a sword, full-on sword.
Well, I think it went knife, machete, sword.
No,
Hatchets
there was a
and
hatchet, bro. There was
Hatchets
a
and
hatchet.
machetes are very different.
100%.
They're different?
They in fact,
Yeah, very
Hatchet's
different.
like an
Yeah.
axe.
hatchet is an axe.
A short,
okay.
short little
okay,
axe.
Okay.
Small axe.
Anyway, the SWAT officers yelled, "Shoot me!" And the SWAT officers, not being the type to deny a request, they politely shot Kiefer with 4 bean bags, non-lethal ammunition, which he chewed like fucking marshmallows.
Yeah.
That was a mistake.
Yeah.
Probably made him angrier.
Well, you're right, Mark, because the bean bags really got Kiefer's blood pumping
Yeah.
and set him off running around the house like a madman.
Yeah.
With the sword.
Yeah, so much like their suspect, the police had to escalate their weapons, shooting Kiefer with a taser 2 times, which you might guess did not phase him.
Didn't tase him.
Didn't phase him. Kiefer then charged at one of the officers with the sword, at which point the police were left with no choice but to fire a live round, killing the Florida legend.
Jesus.
Look, guys, but for those of you who think this is a sad story and a sad ending to the story, let me remind you that death while charging the police is considered to be the most honorable death that a Florida man can achieve. So.
Hey, come on. A bridge too far. I don't know. I think we should put a poll up. It's
Yeah,
a very similar story.
Yeah, can we recap that real quick so I could just know the stats? What was?
Yeah. So Kiefer, 29, 3 visits from the cops on a Friday. Starts with a knife. Then goes to
escalates
a hatchet.
to sword, gets killed.
Then goes to a sword. It involved a SWAT team showing up, a double breach of the front door, breach of the bedroom, a call for suicide by cop with a shoot me. Then he's assaulted with 4 beanbags, non-lethal weapon ammunition.
Okay, and then he's up
All right,
against.
and mine was stolen Jeep, fled, hid in barn, got completely naked, was bloody and naked.
That's good.
Two good things.
Yeah.
And then ran through a taser, stole a cop car, drove it in reverse down the
Stole
street.
cop car
Drove through
and
a barricade.
nakedness.
Deployed airbags on the cop car, got pulled out of the cop car, resisted arrest till was tased to death.
My guy had a weapon, origins of Japan, with a sword.
This is tough.
All right, let's just vote.
We're gonna
We'll put a poll up.
And that's going to do it for
Put a poll
Hard Factor. Thank you guys so much for listening. It's been an awesome week. We will catch you next week. If you have a chance, maybe give us a review or a rating on iTunes or wherever you listen. It really helps us grow this motherfucker. Check out Around the Hill if you haven't. It's our new video series. Also, we're kind of switching our Twitter over to Barstool News Network and our Instagram over to Barstool News Network.
Not kind of. We switched it.
So follow Barstool News Network if you haven't already, and have a great fucking day.
Weekend.